Fern and J.C. Newton were tremendous people here in Canyon, Texas. J.C. worked with my dad at the highway department for many years, and he had grown up, his daddy was abusive alcoholic, and he had to leave home at 12. And he never went to college or anything. He was out at Paladura Canyon, he was the lay preacher. He was just a wonderful man. He and Fern decided she wanted to go to school and go to college here at West Texas A&M University, and her children were growing up, and so she talked to her husband, and he said, "I think you should go for it." So they went in and talked to President Cornett and got enrolled in school, and J.C. helped do so much while she was in college, and she became a teacher, and she started in Emerson Elementary in Amarillo, which was one of the poorest of the poor of the schools in Amarillo. And she said, and she taught elementary school, and she said there were so many kids coming in crying because they were so hungry because they hadn't eaten anything from the night before. So she would send the kids down to the cafeteria. That was back when they made, you know, they had the cafeteria ladies and stuff, and she sent them down with a note and some money that said, "Please give this child a couple of hot rolls and a carton of milk, and I'll pay for it when I come down at lunch." And so those kids would do that, and then they would, you know, feel better. And they also had where they would bring clothes, the teachers would bring clothes to class and stuff, because there were so many kids that, you know, just had, if they had accidents, they didn't have any, and their underwear was holy and stuff. And I think now, how many people in the world today, how many grandparents, because this is in the 50s, in the 40s and the 50s, and how many are out in the world today doing well because someone gave them just this wonderful kindness. And now they do that at Emerson. They have the Kids Cafe where it's supported, and they have where the, you know, funding and stuff to have meal at night for the kids and their families. But I think it was because of her simple act. And what did that cost? I mean, that may have cost a nickel, a quarter, but what, as far as what it's worth, that's a story about that she shared with me. Because I asked her one time, I had sent a letter to the editor about how we were missing so many of our wonderful people after Princess Diana and Mother Teresa died, and I'd mentioned J.C. Newton, and she wrote me a thank you note for remembering her husband, and she said, "Did I ever tell you how I got started in teaching and why?" And it was because of all the kids. She said, "I've always wanted to be a teacher." So that's my favorite teachers, because J.C. taught a kindness, and not as a teacher graduating from college, but together with his wife Fern, they had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful teaching legacy.